Introducing Konosuba, God's blessing on this wonderful world. Looking for a story that's funny, chaotic, and full of unforgettable characters? Then Konosuba is the perfect adventure for you. After a rather embarrassing death, our unlucky gamer Kazuma Satou gets the chance to start over in a fantasy world. But instead of picking a powerful weapon or magic skill, he makes the worst and funniest decision ever, taking the useless goddess Aqua along with him. From explosive mages to masochistic crusaders, Kazuma's party is a disaster waiting to happen. But that's exactly what makes their journey so hilarious and heartwarming. Expect endless laughs, ridiculous quests, and moments that will make you fall in love with every crazy character. If you love isekai, comedy, and a touch of chaos, you won't want to miss Konosuba. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and support the channel so we can keep bringing you more awesome stories every week. Like, share, and comment your favorite Konosuba moment below, and let's enjoy this wonderful world together. Part 1. A carriage made a loud creaking sound as it drove over the pavement. Another world? Hey, it really is another world. Hey, it's for real. Am I going to use magic and go on adventures in this world? Trembling with excitement because of the scene before me, I started talking to myself. Before my eyes were houses built from red bricks, the streets right out of Europe from the Middle Ages. There were no cars, bikes, power lines, or telecommunication cables. I looked around the street, watching people pass by. Animal ears. There's someone with animal ears. Elf ears. Is that an elf? With such striking facial features, she definitely has to be one. Goodbye, hikikomori life. Hello, different world. If it's this world, then I'm willing to go out and work obediently. I turned around and looked at Aqua, who was hugging her head and screaming. Hey, you're noisy. What would you do if people think I'm friends with a crazy woman like you? Stop screaming. You should be giving me something at a time like this. Look at what I'm wearing. A tracksuit? I finally arrived in a fantasy world and I'm wearing a tracksuit. According to the norm in games, you should be giving me the minimum equipment. The goddess screamed as she pounced over to grab me. Whoa, what? What are you doing? Don't act this way. I get it. I'll do something about the basic equipment. I should say that I was wrong. If you hate it that much, you can go back. I'll work out the rest on my own. Aqua tried to strangle me with teary eyes, so I shook off her hands and tried to shoo her away with an annoyed expression. In the end, Aqua said with trembling hands, "What are you saying? I'm troubled because I can't go back. What now? Hey, what should I do? What am I going to do from now on?" Aqua fell into a panic in tears, pacing about while hugging her head. Her waist-length hair was a mess. She looked crazy right now, although she was a beauty if she didn't speak. Hey, calm down, goddess. The first place to visit should be the tavern. Everything starts from collecting information at a tavern. That's the standard in RPGs. Huh? You're supposed to be just a hikikomori gaming NEET, so why are you so reliable? Kazuma. My name's Aqua. I don't mind you addressing me as goddess, but do call me by my name whenever possible, or else citizens will surround us and we won't be able to go on adventures and take down the Demon King. This might be a different world, but I'm still one of the revered gods in it. Aqua said with the confidence she followed behind me. All right, there should be a group formed to take on the Demon King or an adventurer's guild made to defeat monsters. Speaking of which, Aqua was a goddess. Therefore, I could ask her if I had any questions. Aqua, please tell me where the Adventurers Guild is. Which way should we go? I asked Aqua, but she just looked at me blankly. What? I wouldn't know if you asked me. I know the common knowledge of this world, but not the specifics of this town. This is just one of the many existing planets, and just a small town at that. How should I know? This girl's useless. There was no other way, so I asked the middle-aged lady passing by. I didn't ask any guys for fear of meeting delinquents, and the difficulty of talking to young girls is too high for me. Excuse me, may I ask you something? I'm looking for a place like an adventurer's guild. Guild? Oh my, to not know where the guild is? Might you be from out of town? From what the lady said, there really was a guild here, making me relieved. That's right, I'm a traveler who came from a faraway land. I just reached this town. Oh my, since you came to this town, you must be aiming to become an adventurer. Welcome to the town of novice adventurers, Axel. Follow the main road and turn right. You'll see the signboard for the guild. Take a right down the road. Got it. Thank you very much. Hey, let's go. A town for novice adventurers. I see. This was a good starting point for the dead transported here. After thanking the lady, I followed her directions while Aqua followed me with respect in her eyes and sighed. Hey, you came up with an excuse right on the spot. Why are you able to handle this so perfectly? You seem to be a capable guy, so why were you hiki-neat without any friends or a girlfriend? Why would you want to stay at home all day and be a hiki-neat? Not having friends or a girlfriend isn't a bad thing. One can't measure the value of a person by the number of friends or by having a significant other. Moreover, don't call me a hiki-neat, you damn bitch. Don't combine hikikomori and neat together. I'm just 16. I'm too young to be a neat by society's standards. There it is. Aqua pounced over to strangle me for calling her a bitch, but I ignored her and entered the Adventurers Guild. Adventurers Guild, a place for adventurers to take up quests, which was a staple in games. An organization that supports the adventurers, the job agency of this world. There was a rather large establishment before us, and the fragrance of food drifted from within. Some rough characters would certainly be inside. They might find trouble with me if they see unfamiliar faces. After preparing myself mentally and entering, welcome. Please approach the counter if you're looking for quests. If you're here to dine, please take any empty seat. A waitress with short red hair received us warmly. The slightly dim interior seemed to double as a bar. Seen congregating inside were groups of men in armor, but they didn't seem to bear ill will. However, unfamiliar faces seemed to be rare, since everyone was focusing on us. I realized why they were looking this way. Hey, they're looking this way too blatantly. It must be the holy aura coming from me. They must have discovered that I'm a goddess. The reason was the appearance of the goddess speaking dumb words. She was a beauty as long as she didn't speak, after all, so everyone's eyes were attracted to her. For now, I ignored their gazes and went about my original object. Listen carefully, Aqua. They'll give us a tutorial if we register, enabling us to earn a living. That's the kind of place adventurers guilds are. We should be able to take out a loan to prepare ourselves, complete simple jobs to get by, and introduce ourselves to a good tavern. Most games start out this way. Normally, preparing the minimum essentials to live in this world should be your job. But never mind that. For today, let's register with the guild, get some equipment and money, and find a place to sleep. I don't care about that. My job is sending the dead to this world, but I get it. I'm not familiar with games, but what you said seems to be common sense for this world. So I just need to register to be an adventurer too, right? That's right. All right, then let's go. Taking Aqua with me, I made a beeline to the counter. There were 4 counter staff. 2 of them were female. I queued at the counter with the prettier lady. Hey, the other 3 counters are empty. Why are you queuing here? We won't have to wait if we go to another counter. Because this counter worker is the prettiest. Really? I was impressed and thought you were reliable just now. But you're really doing this. I whispered to Aqua, who didn't know anything, so quietly. Building a good rapport with the guild's counter staff are the basics, and the pretty counter lady definitely has plenty of flags to raise. This means there'll be more shocking hidden side quests waiting for us. For example, the counter lady might be a powerful adventurer or something. Now that you mention it, I saw something similar in a manga. Sorry, I'll wait in line obediently. Because we didn't approach the other empty counters and intentionally queued here, the other staff people were looking at us curiously. Nevertheless, I decided to pretend not to notice. It was finally our turn. Good morning. How may I help you? The counter worker was a gentle beauty. Her wavy hair and large breasts made her look mature. I want to become an adventurer. I come from the countryside and don't know anything. I see. There will be a registration fee. Will that be okay? That's right. This was the basic tutorial. I would just need to follow the instructions of the counter worker. A registration fee? Hey, Aqua, got any cash on you? I was transported here suddenly, so how would it be possible for me to have any money? How can this be? Shouldn't they...
Part 2. All right, good work everyone. That's it for today. Here, this is today's salary. Thank you. Good job today, boss. Good job. After the boss announced the end of the workday, Aqua and I received our salary, bowed and thanked him. Everyone, we'll make a move first. Goodbye. Oh, thanks for your hard work. I'm counting on you tomorrow too. I bid farewell to my seniors, while Aqua followed my lead. After hearing the reply from the seniors, Aqua and I left the workplace. I worked the whole of today too. Even I was beginning to doubt that I was ever a hikikomori. Aqua and I took our salary for the day and headed for the public bath. The public bath was no different from the ones in Japan. Judging from the average salary, the entrance fee was higher than Japan's. However, I couldn't change the habit of taking a bath after finishing work. I'm alive again. I soaked my shoulders in the warm water, leisurely relieving my fatigue from work. This place seemed to be from the Middle Ages, so I thought it would have been luxurious to take a bath here. But that was just me. I was grateful, so grateful. After leaving the bath, I saw Aqua waiting for me at the entrance. Bathing longer than a girl was a bit off-putting, but that was the nature of the Japanese. What would you like to eat today? I want some smoked lizard hamburger steak and the heart-freezing crimson Leroy. I want to eat meat too, so let's go to the tavern and get 2 smoked lizard steak set meals. Agreed. After finishing our meal, Aqua and I didn't have anything to do and went to the stables. After picking hay not stained by horse manure to make a bed, we laid down immediately. Aqua was sleeping beside me, as usual. Well then, good night. Good night. Whew, I worked hard today too. With that, I drifted off into dreamland. No, wait a minute. I suddenly sat up. What is it? Did you forget to go to the washroom? It's dark out there. Do you need me to accompany you? No way. Hold on. It's not that. I just realized that we've been living the life of manual laborers so far. Indeed, for the past 2 weeks, Aqua and I have been working on the walls outside the city. We were construction workers. That was too far off from the adventurer life I was aspiring to live in this world. Or rather, why did Aqua get so used to this lifestyle without any complaints? Weren't you a goddess? You don't work, you don't eat. Isn't that obvious? Picky needs are fussy. If you prefer to, you can work as a store clerk too. No, it's not that. How should I put it? What I'm after is exciting battles against monsters, a life like that. Moreover, isn't this world in a crisis with the invasion of the Demon King? Isn't it amazingly peaceful here? There are no signs of demons at all. I got worked up as I spoke. As my voice grew louder, our neighbors lectured me. Hey, can it? Be quiet. I'm sorry. Adventurers who were just starting out were poor. It was normally impossible for us to rent a room in the tavern every night. Usually, adventurers would share the rent with other adventurers and sleep in the communal room. Alternatively, they could do what we were doing and sleep on the hay in the stables. Yes, this was different from the adventurer lifestyle in an alternate world that I was looking forward to. Staying in the tavern daily was the same as sleeping in a hotel every day in Japan. It was impossible for adventurers with an unstable income to do so. Indeed, our income wasn't stable. No simple herb picking or monster hunting quests that appeared in games were available. Monsters didn't burst into loot and money when you killed them. In addition, the forest near town has long since been cleared of monsters. The forest had turned safe after the monsters were gone, so no one would hire people to harvest materials for them. This was obvious. The outdoors was so safe that the children could roam free. There were guards manning the gate, but instead of maintaining round-the-clock security, it was easier to exterminate all the dangerous monsters, since the forest wasn't too large. It was the most logical method, but I'd rather not know this. An adventurer who was just slightly stronger than normal people, spending half a day harvesting herbs that were easy to spot and earning enough for food and lodging, there was no way such an easy job existed. Minimum wage? Labor laws? What were those? Could we eat them? That was the kind of world this was. It's useless even if you tell me these things. This is the town furthest away from the Demon King's castle after all. Who would come all the way to attack a town of beginners at the borders? Anyway, Cosmo wants to live more like an adventurer, right? You don't even have the proper equipment. Aqua went straight to the point, and I couldn't protest. That was right. Aqua and I didn't even have a full set of basic equipment. We were hoping to buy them, which is why we were working so hard at the construction site. I'm getting bored of construction too. I didn't come to this world to be a laborer. I came to this world with no computers and games to adventure. And didn't you send me here to challenge the Demon King? After hearing what I said, Aqua made a "what are you talking about" face, pondered for a moment, and then responded. Oh, there was such a thing. I forgot, immersed in the happiness of working. I can't go back if Cosmo doesn't defeat the Demon King. Listening to her dumb reply, I recalled the counter lady's words. It seemed that this girl's intelligence was really below average. All right, let's go challenge the Demon King. Don't worry, it'll be a breeze with me here. Look forward to my performance. That makes me uneasy, but you're a goddess after all, so I'm counting on you. Okay, we'll buy some basic weapons and armor with the money we saved and go grinding tomorrow. Leave it to me. Didn't I tell you to can it? Do you want me to beat you up? I'm very sorry. As we apologized to the other adventurers, I got ready to sleep with a heart full of excitement. Part 3.
Help! Aqua, save me! Ha ha ha! This is hilarious. Kazuma, your face is all red and you have tears in your eyes. You look really desperate. Okay, I'll bury this girl before going back. As I made up my mind, I continued to run and scream for help as a giant frog-like monster chased me. This was the open plain outside of town. We took a quest from the guild in the morning and headed there. As for the bare minimum weapon needed, I chose a short sword. Aqua was acting dumb, saying a goddess wielding weapons was unglamorous and wasn't equipped with anything. She was leisurely watching the frogs chase me. Don't look down on them just because they're frogs. They were bigger than bulls. It was their mating season, so they were accumulating nutrition to lay eggs. They roamed around human settlements where food was more plentiful, swallowing goats raised by farmers in a single gulp. If they could swallow a goat whole, swallowing Aqua and me would be easy too. In fact, children and farmers often went missing during their mating season. Even though they looked just like frogs, they were still dangerous monsters, stronger than the small and exterminated monsters near town. By the way, their meat was a bit tough, but it was pleasant and refreshing, a rather popular ingredient. Their thick fat was effective against blunt attacks. They hated metals, so they wouldn't hunt you if you were fully equipped. It was an easy foe for normal adventurers. That was why skillful adventurers liked to hunt them, but Aqua! Aqua! Stop laughing and save me! For starters, add an "san" when you address me. Aqua-sama! I'll bury this girl all the way, only leaving her head above ground. I'll let her know the horror of frogs targeting you. I was on the verge of tears looking back at the frog hopping behind me. At this moment, I realized that the frog was heading in a different direction from me. Before the frog was... can't be helped. All right, I'll save you, Hickey Neat. However, you'll need to worship this goddess from tomorrow onward. You'll need to join the Aqua sect in town and pray to me 3 times a day. You can't object if I take any side dishes from you during meals. In addition, Aqua, who had been puffing her chest out and rambling on about something, disappeared. I turned my head and saw that the frog had stopped moving. Something blue was dangling from the corner of its mouth. That blue thing was, Aqua, how could you get eaten? Art28.jpg. Aqua, eaten by the frog, had one spasming leg dangling out of its mouth. I drew my short sword and charged at the frog. Sob. Covered in sticky frog fluid, Aqua was hugging her knees while sitting on the ground before me, sobbing. Beside her was the frog, its head smashed in. Sob. Thank you. Kazuma, thank you. Aqua had been crying non-stop ever since I dragged her out of the frog's mouth. Even a goddess couldn't stand the horror of being prey. Are you okay, Aqua? Be strong. Let's go back for today. The quest we took on was exterminating 5 frogs in 3 days, but they weren't opponents we could handle. Let's try again when we've got better equipment. Look, I only have a short sword, no armor, and I'm still wearing my tracksuit. Let's come back when we're dressed more like adventurers. To be honest, a novice like me only defeated the frog because it stopped moving as it tried to swallow Aqua. If the frog had attacked me without hesitation, I wouldn't have the courage to face it. Aqua stood up with the glossy fluid all over her body. Ugh, for a goddess like me to be humiliated by a frog, how can we retreat? I'm already defiled. If people see how dirty I am, their faith will most certainly plummet. If people knew that I ran from frogs, it'd be a disgrace to the name of the beautiful goddess Aqua. You didn't have to worry about that. You carried several times more construction materials at the worksite than the men did whilst looking happy working. Your greatest joy was eating dinner after taking a bath. You were sleeping so soundly that you even drooled while sleeping in the stables beside me. After seeing the way you conduct yourself, being covered in goo isn't too much. But before I could stop her, Aqua charged towards another frog in the distance. Hey, hold up! Aqua! Aqua ignored my voice, drawing closer to the frog and using her momentum to throw a punch at its belly. Feel the wrath of a goddess! You dare to oppose a goddess? Repent in hell! God blow! I remembered a staff member in the guild telling me that physical attacks weren't effective against giant frogs. Her fist sunk into the soft abdomen, while the frog seemed unaffected. Aqua meekly looked the frog in the eye and said softly, "Looking closely, frogs are actually quite cute, right?" I defeated the second giant frog that stopped moving as it attempted to swallow its prey. The adventure for today ended with me bringing a wailing goddess covered in slime back to town.
Part 4. I get it. Just us two isn't enough, so let's recruit more members. After returning to town, the first thing we did was head to the bathhouse to wash up. We then ate fried frog meat in the Adventurers Guild and discussed our plans. Apart from being a meeting place for adventurers, the Adventurers Guild also doubled as a bar. It allowed adventurers to sell the monsters they hunted, and serving tasty monsters was also a bit of a selling point for them. We sold the meat of the 2 frogs we hunted to the guild and earned some allowance in the process. The frog was too big for the 2 of us to carry, but if you turned in a request to the guild, they'd provide delivery service, transporting the monster you defeated. Selling 1 frog and deducting the transport fee earned us 5,000 euros. The earnings were about the same as doing construction work. However, the slightly tough fried frog meat was unexpectedly tasty, which surprised me. When I first came to this world, I was a bit hesitant about eating lizards and frogs. However, after having one prepared and served to me, I found it to be delicious. Of course, the goddess before me ate anything without hesitation. But even if we want to recruit comrades, do you think anyone would want to team up with novices like us who don't even have proper equipment? With a mouthful of frog meat, Aqua waved the fork in her hand. "With me hair, I just noted swallow. Swallow before you speak." After Aqua swallowed, she said, "With me here, I just need to holler and people will line up to join us. I'm an archpriest after all, a top-tier job. I can use all sorts of healing spells and support magic, and I can relieve poison and paralysis statuses. I can even perform resurrection, a talent any team would want. I might have fallen into the mortal world, causing my powers to be far from my peak, but I'm still a goddess. I'm Aqua-sama after all. I just need to put up a notice and a bunch of people begging me to bring me along on quests will show up. If you understand, then give me another piece of fried frog meat." After finishing, the self-proclaimed goddess grabbed a piece of fried frog meat from my plate as I watched her with worried eyes. Part 5. The next day at the Adventurers Guild. "No one's coming," Aqua dejectedly mumbled to herself. After displaying a recruitment notice, we sat at a table inside the Adventurers Guild and waited for companions to show up. It had been half a day. The other adventurers saw our notice. Besides us, several adventurers were recruiting members. They conducted interviews, talked with them, and went off. I knew very well why no one was coming. Hey, let's lower our standard. Our goal's to defeat the Demon King, so such conditions were necessary. However, only recruiting top-tier jobs is a bit too grueling. But in this world, adventurer jobs were divided into tiers, with some of them being top-tier jobs. Aqua's archpriest was one of those top-tier jobs. It was difficult for normal people to qualify for this job. She could very well be a hero candidate. Moreover, it was normal for such hero candidates to enjoy a privileged life in other teams. Aqua probably wanted to recruit powerful companions to take down the Demon King. However, if this goes on, no one will apply. You might have a top-tier job, but mine's the weakest. I'll lose my place if elite suddenly surrounds me. How about lowering the entry requirements? As I was preparing to stand up, I saw the notice recruiting adventurers with top-tier jobs. Are you the ones who posted Kate? She regarded us with red, sleepy eyes. Her smooth black hair reached her shoulders. For us, she was a girl in classic witch attire, with a black cloak, dark boots, pointy hat, and staff. Her features were delicate like porcelain dolls. It was a loli. It wasn't surprising for children to work in this world. The small, frail girl, who looked to be about 12 to 13, had an eye patch covering one eye. She flung aside her cloak hard and said, "My name's Megumin, and my calling is that of an arch-wizard and one who controls the strongest offensive magic, explosion." Are you here to tease us? I am not. I couldn't help retorting at the self-introduction of this girl as she denied in a panic. Moreover, what was the name Megumin? That red eye, are you a crimson demon? The girl nodded in response to Aqua's query and presented her adventurer card to Aqua. That's correct. I'm an elite mage from the Crimson Demon clan Megumin. My magic's powerful enough to split the mountains. That's how it is. Do you need an excellent mage? By the way, I've a favor to ask. I haven't eaten in 3 days. May you give me something to eat before the interview? Megumin looked at us with sorrowful eyes. The heartbreaking ugu sound came from Megumin's stomach region. I'm fine with treating you to a meal, but why are you wearing an eye patch? If you're injured, do you need this girl to heal you? This is a magic item to restrain my overwhelming power. If you pull it off, a gigantic disaster will befall the world. Oh, so it's something like a seal? I made that up. This is just a normal eye patch. It just looks nice. Oh, I'm sorry. Please don't pull on that. Stop. Listen, Kazuma. Crimson demons are born with high intellect and strong magic power, with most of them having the potential to become powerful mages. They're well known for their red eyes and their strange names. Aqua explained as I pulled on Megumin's eye patch. I understood. Just listening to her name and seeing that eye patch, I thought she was teasing me. I released the eye patch and she said sternly, "It's rude to say that our names are weird. From where I stand, the names of the people in this town are the weird ones." Right. May I ask for your parents' names? My mother's Yui and my father's Hoiza Bro. Aqua and I were silent. Anyway, this girl produces many powerful mages, right? Could we recruit her as a companion? Hey, if you got a problem with the names of my parents, say it to my face. As Megumin leaned forward, Aqua returned the adventurer card to her. It should be fine, right? The adventurer card is real. She has a top-tier job with the ability to use powerful spells. Arch-wizard. The magic stat on the card is very high, so she has a lot of potential. If she really can use explosion magic, that would be amazing. The explosion spell is the highest tier spell of the detonation series magic, and hard to learn. Hey, stop addressing me as she. Use my name. As Megumin protested, I handed her the food menu. Don't mind the details. Order something to eat. My name is Kazuma, and this is Aqua. Pleased to meet you, Archwizard. Megumin seemed like she had something to say, but in the end, she just took the menu quietly.
Part 6. Explosion's the strongest offensive spell. On the other hand, it has a long casting time. Please keep that frog at bay until I'm ready. We brought Megumin, who'd eaten her fill, along to seek revenge against the giant frogs. I could see a frog at a distance on the plains. The frog had already noticed us and was charging our way. In addition, I could see another frog heading toward us from the opposite direction. Please target the frog further away. As for the nearer one, hey, let's go, Aqua. We'll avenge ourselves this time. You're a former goddess, right? How about showing what you're made of? What do you mean by former? I'm a current goddess. My position of an archpriest, just a disguise. Megumin looked at the self-proclaimed goddess choking me and said, "Goddess? Just the pitiful woman claiming to be a goddess. She'll say stuff like this from time to time, so please don't mind her." After hearing my explanation, Megumin looked at Aqua with sympathetic eyes. Aqua was on the verge of tears and charged toward the nearer frog in frustration with her fist clenched. "You're just frogs that are strong against physical attacks. Let me show you the power of a goddess." Kazuma, watch this carefully. I haven't done anything great yet, but I'll definitely succeed today. Aqua, who lacked the capacity to learn, shouted and succeeded in infiltrating the body of the frog, stopping its movements. As expected of a goddess, sacrificing herself to buy us time. Then, the air around Megumin started to tremble. Even a novice to magic like me could tell that Megumin was preparing to use some remarkable magic. Megumin's chanting grew louder as sweat fell from her temples. Watch closely. This is the strongest attack spell known to humans. The ultimate attack spell. The tip of Megumin's staff started to glow. The scale might have been small, but it seemed to accumulate a vast amount of light as it shone brightly. Megumin's red eyes shone with a brilliant light. Explosion! A light flashed through the plains. The light emitted from the tip of Megumin's staff shot forward, hitting the frog approaching us dead on. The violent effect of the spell was seen immediately. A dazzling light filled my vision as the frog was blown to pieces with a reverberating bang. Almost blown away by the strong wind, I covered my face and braced myself. After the dust settled, a crater 20 meters in diameter revealed where the frog had been, showing how powerful the explosion was. Amazing! So this is magic. As I was feeling moved by the power of Megumin's spell, another frog slowly climbed out from underground, probably awakened by the shockwave and sound of the explosion. I was thinking that without rain and a water source in the plains, the frogs would dry up under the hot sun. It turns out that they burrowed underground to avoid baking alive. The frog climbing out was near Megumin, but its movements were very slow. If we use this chance to move away from the frog and let Megumin use her explosion spell again, we can blow the frog into cinders. Megumin, let's retreat for now and attack from a distance. I looked over at Megumin. My body turned stiff because Megumin was lying face down on the ground. Explosion's my ultimate spell. It's powerful and uses a lot of mana. Simply put, the mana I used exceeded my limit, so I can't move. To think that a frog would appear out of nowhere. No good, I'll be eaten. Sorry, please save me. Yeah! Frog.jpg. With their movements sealed by the body of Aqua and Megumin, I finished off the 2 frogs. We completed the mission to defeat 5 giant frogs in 3 days. Part 7. It smells like fish. Aqua sniveled as she followed behind me, covered in slime. It's smelly inside the frog, but the warm feeling isn't too bad. I gained some knowledge that I'd rather not know. Megumin, covered in goo like Aqua and being carried on my back, told me something I never wanted to learn. If someone used magic that exceeded his or her mana capacity, it'd drain his or her life force to make up for the difference. Using powerful spells with your mana depleted might even lead to death. From now on, explosion magic's banned, unless there's an emergency. Please get by with your other spells from now on, Megumin.
After hearing what I said, Megumin grabbed my shoulders harder. I can't. Huh? You can't what? I parroted Megumin's words. Megumin grabbed even harder and pressed her lacking chest onto my back. I can only use explosion. I don't know any other magic. Are you serious? Yes. As Megumin and I turned silent, Aqua, who was sniddling, joined in our discussion. What do you mean you only know explosion? If you had enough skill points to learn explosion, you must have learned other spells, right? Skill points? Speaking of which, the counter lady at the guild did mention something about skill points. Seeing that I was confused, Aqua explained to me. Skill points are something you earn when you choose a job. It's used to learn skills. The more potential a person has, the more skill points they start out with. You can learn all sorts of skills by investing skill points in them. For example, the excellent me has learned all the banquet party tricks as well as all the spells of an archpriestess. Where are you going to use banquet party tricks? Aqua pretended not to hear my question and continued. Depending on the person and the job, there are restrictions to the skills they may learn. For example, someone with a fear of water would need more points to learn water or ice elemental spells. However, since Detonation Series magic consists of composite spells, you'd need deep knowledge of fire and wind magic to master it. This means that people who can learn detonation magic should be able to easily learn other spells. This means that it doesn't make sense to be unable to learn low-tier spells when you know high-tier magic from the Detonation series. Anyway, where can you make use of banquet party tricks? Megumin mumbled when I finished my sentence. My only wish is to use explosion magic. The bounty is just a complimentary bonus. How about this? I don't need an even share of the rewards. If you're willing to foot the bill for food, bath, and miscellaneous items, I can consider not taking any rewards. That's right, my power as an arch-wizard is available at the price of meals and other miscellaneous fees. How could you miss this opportunity? No. Our weak team isn't worthy of such amazing power. That's right, it's too much to ask Megumin to stay in our team with your amazing powers. A team just starting out should make do with the normal mage. Look at me, my job is even the weakest one, adventurer. To chase away Megumin, who was grabbing onto me tightly when we reached the guild, I attempted to loosen her grip. Nevertheless, Megumin refused to let go. No. It doesn't matter if you're novices or weak. I might have a top-tier job, but I'm still a beginner too. My level is just 6. When my level grows, I won't collapse after using my spells. So let's talk this over, and then you may pull my hand away, okay? No. It's too hard to utilize a mage that can only cast 1 spell a day. She's a mage, but her grip is strong. Let go. The other teams probably didn't want you either. Or rather, one can't use explosion spells indoors or indoors, which would render you useless. Hey, release your grip. I'll split the rewards equally with you, so please let go. Please don't ditch me. No team is willing to take me. I'm willing to carry the luggage or anything when exploring dungeons, so please don't throw me away. It was probably because Megumin on my back was yelling, "Don't throw me away," that the passers-by started whispering while looking at us. Because we were in town and Aqua's appearance drew a lot of attention, it made us the center of focus. No way. That man wants to abandon that child? He has a girl covered in slime with him. To toy with such a small child and then abandon her after that? What trash! Look, why is there goo covering the girls? What weird sexual games did that pervert make them do? The passersby maligned me. Aqua smiled deviously upon hearing them. How hateful. Megumin seemed to have heard their whispers too. I looked at Megumin, who was peeking over my shoulder, only to see a malicious smile showing on her face. I'm fine with any sort of play, even using the frog slime just like now is okay. All right, I get it. Megumin, I'll be in your care.
Part 8. All right, everything's in order. I've confirmed that your team has finished the quest of defeating 5 giant frogs in 3 days. Good work. After reporting in at the guild's counter, I received the promised reward. Since Aqua and Megumin were covered in slime, they'd be too smelly if they didn't wash up. It might cause misunderstandings for me, so I shoot them off to the bathhouse. One of the frogs we defeated disintegrated because of the explosion magic, so I was afraid it might have affected the completion of the quest. But the type and number of monsters defeated were recorded on the adventurer's card, so there were no problems. I handed in mine and Megumin's card to the counter lady, which she put in a strange box-like machine. The confirmation was done just like that. Things developed in this world use magic instead of science, so the technological level of this world was quite advanced. I looked at my card again and saw that I was at level 4. I heard that those frogs were great for novice adventurers to grind levels. I defeated 4 frogs by myself, enough to raise my level to 4. It was easier for low-level people to level up. All the stats on the card increased slightly, but I didn't feel myself getting any stronger. But I can really get stronger just by killing monsters, I mumbled to myself. The counter lady did mention that when she explained it in the beginning. All things in this world have souls. No matter what form it takes, if you eat or kill a being, you can absorb a part of the memory of the soul. That was what she said. This part felt like a computer game. Looking at it closely, there was something called skill points on it, which showed the number 3. Just by spending these points, I could learn skills. Well then, turning in 2 giant frogs, in addition to receiving the bounty for completing the quest, comes to a total of 110,000 errors. Please take this. 110,000? These giant frogs yielded 5,000 errors after deducting transport fees, so the bounty for the 5 frogs was 100,000 errors. Aqua said that quests were completed with a team of 4 to 6 adventurers. So for normal adventurers, risking your life to fight 5 frogs for a couple of days would yield about 125,000 errors. For a 5-man team, that would be 25,000 errors each. It wasn't worth it. Finishing the mission in 1 day meant a daily salary of 25,000? It might have seemed like a good deal for a daily salary, but considering the risk involved, it didn't seem to be worth the effort. If another frog had shown up and eaten me, the 3 of us would have been wiped out. That sent a chill down my spine. I looked at the other quests. The ones in the bulletin board were: cut down the evil trees corrupting the forest, bounty is dependent on the amount turned in, help me look for my pet white wolf, my son's swordsmanship lesson requirement, rune knight or swordmaster, and recruiting subject for magic practice requirement, high HP or strong magic resistance. Yeah, it wasn't easy to survive in this world. I felt like returning to Japan on my 2nd day of adventuring. Excuse me, may I ask? Just when I was getting a little homesick as I sat down on a chair nearby, someone spoke to me from behind. Feeling tired of dealing with the realities of this different world, I turned my head with hollow eyes. Is something the matter? I was speechless when I saw the person talking to me. She was a female knight. She was a super beautiful female knight. She gave off the vibe of a cool beauty at first sight, as she looked at me expressionlessly. She was a bit taller than I was. My height was 165 centimeters, 5 feet and 5 inches. A bit taller than me should be about 170 centimeters, 5 feet and 7 inches. She was wearing solid metal armor all over her body,
a beauty with blonde hair and blue eyes, probably a year or two older than me. I couldn't tell her body shape from her armor, but I felt that she was very curvy. Her face seemed rather cold. How should I put this? It picked on your masochistic side. This wasn't good. I was entranced. What's the matter? Facing Aqua, who was about my age, and Megumin, who was younger than me, was fine. But this beauty, slightly older than me, made my stutter. That was the bad point of living the life of a hikikomori for an extended period. The team that put up this recruitment notice was you, right? Are you still looking for people? The female knight showed me a piece of paper. Indeed, we didn't tear away that notice after Megumin joined our party. Oh, we're still hiring, although I wouldn't recommend you joining. Please pick me. Please let me join your party. When I was about to reject her tactfully, the female knight suddenly grabbed my hand. Huh? No, hold up. Our party has plenty of problems. The other two members are burdens, and my job is the weakest. Because of that, my two companions were covered in slime. Ow! Ow, 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 ow. When I mentioned the slime, the female knight tightened her grip on my hand. I was right. Those two covered in goo were your comrades. What happened? How'd they end up that way? I also want to experience that. Huh? What did she just say? No, I phrased it wrongly. For the two young girls to experience that at such a tender age, as a knight, I can't stand by and watch. My job is the top-tier crusader, so it should fit your recruitment criteria. What's with this female knight? Her eyes look dangerous. I thought she was a cool and collected big sister. But my danger radar was acting up. She gave off the same feeling as Aqua and Megumin. Oh, she might have been a beauty, but it couldn't be helped. Oh, I didn't finish. I really don't recommend you joining. One of our party members is useless, the other can only cast one spell a day, and I have the weakest job. That's the lame party this is, so I suggest you find another. The female knight strengthened her grip further. That's perfect. To be honest, I'm confident in my strength and durability, but I'm not too agile with my hands, so I can't hit the enemy. My sensor was right. So you don't need to treat me as having a top-tier job. I'll just charge ahead with no care, so abuse me like a shield. The female knight shoved her pretty face in front of me. Her face was too close. Because I was sitting, she was looking at me from high up. The female knight's golden locks brushed against my face, making my heart race. My time as a hikikomori was affecting me again. No, this was simply too stimulating for an adolescent virgin boy, making me uneasy. Calm down, don't get seduced by her charm. No, how should I put this? My two companions were eaten by frogs and covered in slime. This might happen every day. That's exactly what I want. Oh, I get it. The blushing female knight who was holding my hand. Looking at her, I understood something. This girl wasn't just useless. Her character was rotten to the core.
Part 9. Hey, there is something I want to ask the both of you. How do you learn skills? The day after fighting the frogs, we were having a late lunch at the guild's bar. Before me was the penniless Megumin, who hadn't had a proper meal before meeting us and was focusing on eating her lunch, and Aqua, calling for the waitress to order more food. Their appetites were too great for ladies of their tender age. 2 women and a single man was still a harem party, but it totally didn't feel that way at all. Megumin raised her head while holding her fork and said, "Learning skills? That's easy. Look at your card and choose one from the learnable skills column. Oh right, Kazuma's job's adventurer. In that case, you need someone to teach you a skill.
You need to see the skill in action and ask the user to teach you how to use it. It'll then show up in the learnable column. Then you can spend skill points to learn the skill. I see. I remembered the counter lady saying that the basic tier job, adventurer, could learn any skill. If that was the case, that means if Megumin teaches me, I could use explosion magic? Yeah, exactly. Whoa. Megumin reacted strongly to my casual words. That's right, Kazuma. The skill points needed would be absurdly high, but adventurer is the only job other than archwizard that can use explosion. I can teach you if you want to learn it. Or rather, there are no other skills that are worth learning except explosion, right? Of course not. Come, let's walk the path of explosion together. Her face was too close. Wait, calm down, Loli. I only have 3 skill points. There's no way I can learn it, right? Loli? Megumin was too excited to hold a proper conversation, so I asked Aqua instead. If an adventurer wants to learn the explosion spell, 20 or so skill points won't be enough. You'll probably need to train for a decade or 2 and invest all your points to learn it. Who has that kind of patience? To call me a loli. Megumin seemed stunned by me addressing her as a loli, dejectedly eating her set meal in small bites. But the only good point about my job, adventurer, was the ability to learn any skill. Of course I wanted to learn more skills. Hey Aqua, you should have many convenient skills, right? Do you have any easy-to-learn skills to teach me? I prefer those that don't need a lot of points and are very useful. Aqua thought for a moment while holding her cup of water. It can't be helped, but I have to warn you, my skills are amazing. They're not meant to be passed on lightly. I wasn't happy about Aqua mouthing off like that, but I had to bear with it since I was asking her to teach me. I obediently nodded my head and watched Aqua's every movement. Well, look at this cup. Put this cup full of water on top of your head and don't let it fall off. Here, try it. It was a bit embarrassing to do that in public, but I mimicked Aqua's action and put the cup on top of my head. Then Aqua took out an unknown seed and placed it on the table. All right, now use your finger to flick the seed into the cup. You must do it in one try. Something amazing is happening. The seed's absorbing the water and sprouting. Who asked you to teach me party tricks, you worthless goddess? Aqua became as dejected as Megumin for some reason and rolled the seed around the table with her finger. I don't know what's getting you so down, but can you remove the cup from your head? It's drawing a lot of attention. Ha, that's hilarious. Hey, you're the party Darkness wanted to join, right? You want to learn something useful? How about thief skills? Someone suddenly interjected. I turned my head and saw 2 women occupying the neighboring table. The one talking to me was a woman wearing light leather armor. She had a small scar on her face and seemed to be street smart. She was a pretty girl with silver locks and a bright personality. Beside her was a blonde beauty in full plate mail. The unapproachable, cool beauty. Indeed, there was the female knight that wanted to join our party yesterday. The thief girl looked to be about a year or 2 younger than I was. What do you mean by thief skills? How are they like? The thief girl responded cheerfully. Good question. Thief skills are very practical, such as disarm traps, enemy detection, lurk, and steal. They're all skills that are worth learning. Your job's the basic tier adventurer, right? Thief skills don't require many points, so it's a great offer. How about it? I'll teach them to you for the price of a glass of crimson beer. So cheap. That was how I felt. But when I thought about it, she had nothing to lose from teaching me these skills. And I could just ask any other thief if I really wanted to learn thief skills. Okay, I'll leave it in your hands. Excuse me, a glass of ice-cold crimson beer for this lady.
Part 10. Right, let me properly introduce myself. I'm Chris. As you can see, I'm a thief. And this person with the moody face is Darkness. You met yesterday, right? She's a crusader and shouldn't have any skills that are useful to you. Hello, I'm Kazuma. Nice to meet you, Chris. In the open plaza behind the Adventurers Guild, Chris, Darkness, and I stood at this desolate and open space. By the way, those two companions of mine remained soaking at the table while we were talking, so I left them there. Well then, we'll start with enemy detection and lurk. We'll work on disarm traps next time, since traps are rare in such a crowded place. Hey Darkness, could you turn over there for a moment? Okay. Darkness turned away as instructed, and so Chris got into a wooden barrel some distance away and showed only the top half of her body. I didn't know what she was playing at, but she then threw a rock at Darkness's head and hid into the barrel. Could this be the lurk skill? Darkness, who was hit by the rock, moved silently toward the only barrel in the area. Sensing enemy, I can strongly feel Darkness's anger. Hey, Darkness, you know I only did that to teach him the skills. I couldn't help it. Please have mercy. Stop. The barrel she was hidden in toppled over, and Chris screamed as it rolled on the ground. Could I really learn new skills this way? All right, let's try the skill I recommend the most, Steal. This is a skill that can snatch away one item possessed by the target. It can be anything, be it the weapon gripped tightly in their hands or the wallet secured deep in their pockets. The probability of success is dependent on the luck stat. You can take the weapon or treasure of a strong enemy and run, so it's a great skill to have under any circumstances. After Chris recovered from the dizziness of being rolled around in a barrel, she explained Steal to me. It sounded very useful indeed, and it was dependent on the luck stat, which means my only high stat would finally be put to use. I'll demonstrate with you as a target. Ready? Steal! Chris shouted as she reached her hand forward and a small item appeared in her hand. That's my wallet! It contained all my cash, a thin and pitiful wallet. Oh, jackpot! It's used this way. Well, of course, I'll give the wallet back. Chris smiled deviously as she was about to return the wallet to me. Hey, let's have a match, all right? Try learning Steal now. I'll then let you steal one item from me. I won't complain even if you steal my wallet or weapon. Your wallet is so thin that my weapon or wallet will be more valuable. So that means we'll be trading in whatever items that are stolen. How about it? Want to try? This person suddenly said something amazing. I thought about it. My luck seemed ridiculously high. I could steal one item from the opponent. So I'd be getting something even if the skill failed. Let's give it a go. Such gambles seemed like the way rash adventurers would interact. Just what I was looking forward to. Indeed, I was finally experiencing something adventurer-like after coming to this world. I looked at my adventurous card and saw a new box with learnable skills displayed on it. I touched it with my finger and 4 skills appeared. Enemy detection, 1 point. Lurk, 1 point. Steal, 1 point. Nature's beauty, 5 points. Nature's beauty? The skill used by Aqua, the party trick of flicking a seed into a cup?
That party trick had such a flashy name. And it's expensive. Party tricks are cool in their own way, but I decided to learn steal, enemy detection, and lurk. I used up all my skill points. I see, so that's how you learn skills. I've learned the skill, and I accept your challenge. Don't come crying to me no matter what I steal. I stuck out my right hand as I spoke, but Chris just smiled fearlessly. That's great. I like people who aren't spoil smarts. All right, then what can you steal? The special prize will be my wallet. The grand prize will be this enchanted dagger. This is a great item worth 400,000 eris. The consolation prize will be this piece of rock I threw at darkness. Using such a method is cheating. I protested loudly when I saw the rock Chris took out. I was wondering why she was so confident, so that was the reason. If she had more trash items, the probability of important items getting stolen would be lower, a sort of safeguard against thieves. All right, watch this. My luck has always been good. Steal. I shouted as my extended right hand grabbed something. She said the probability of success was dependent on the luck stat. To succeed in one try, my luck wasn't too bad. I opened my hand and looked at what I stole. What is this? It was a piece of white cloth. I took the cloth with both hands and raised it to the sun for a better look. Yahoo! It's the grand prize, and it's a big one. No! Give me back my panties. Chris pulled down her skirt as she screamed with tears in her eyes.